Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie, and this channel is chronicling my journey of living my best life with multiple chronic health conditions. Today I am doing a continuation of the last video where I sort of talked about where things are medically and how I'm doing on the daily. Or no, I did not talk about how I was functioning. That's this video. This talked about how things are doing medically with the neuromuscular specialist, the mitochondrial specialist, plan for the biopsy, diuretics not working, yada yada. So this video will be how I'm doing on the day-to-day. And if you've noticed during my intro, I am losing my breath. I'm assuming that is because of the fluid retention. I've noticed in the past when my diuretics were working that during the beginning of the day I would lose my breath during sentences, and then towards the latter, like after the diuretic did its thing, I did not lose my breath during that part of the sentence. So I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with it. It could also be my tracheal collapse. I have no idea if that's gotten worse. I'm not seeing anyone for it. No one seems interested in it, so I'm just leaving it alone. I got enough of other problems to worry about than something that we can't do anything about. So that's one area that is noticeably more difficult, is really having to pay attention to my sentence structure and my breathing during when I'm talking. The other thing is my job is not fully work from home. I wish it was, kind of, but it's not. I do go out in the community and see people either like in the hospital or at their homes or nursing homes or wherever they are. So that has been harder than I was expecting it to be, or it's been harder in ways I didn't expect it to be. I thought the problem was going to be fatigue, and that is a problem, but what I was not expecting was the muscle pain that it causes. I've driven, 4 hours to go to my timeshare in the Poconos, and I was tired the next day, but still functional. I could do stuff. Whereas driving a few hours around seeing patients I am not really functional the next day. And on top of that, my muscles are crampy and just burning really quickly, even with just sitting upright, which is completely new. That's never happened before. So when I did my longer drive, I was out for multiple hours, sort of going between different homes and whatnot. When I got home from that, for the next almost 2 weeks, I spent most of the time I was not working lying down. Not even because I was sleepy per se, but it was too uncomfortable to sit up. I'm spending a lot of time leaning forward on the desk because it is uncomfortable to hold myself up. My neck is sore, my back is sore. So that's been a problem, and that continues to be a problem, though not at the level it was. Thankfully, I am doing things to try to ameliorate that, mostly using a lot of heat. So we'll see if that continues to help. But yeah, that's definitely a problem. Not so much this time when I was doing the drive, but the first time my arms were super crampy for about a week or so. They don't seem to be that way right now. Again, heat. So hopefully I can continue to sort of get into a routine in using heat in various locations, or when I can, going to the gym to get in the sauna to sort of help with that, just to open up the blood vessels and get more blood and nutrients and oxygen, in theory, to my muscles to help them recover. There was a time when I was eating with my left arm instead of my right because my right was too fatigued. Let me look at my little list. Then the shortness of breath, sort of coming back to that. The other problem is everything is making me short of breath. So talking, which I think is partly or probably mostly fluid related, but everyday things, and it shouldn't surprise me because my anaerobic threshold is so low. It should not be surprising that my muscles burn doing things like brushing my hair, getting dressed, walking and whatnot, but it's such a drastic change so quickly that it was shocking. I was out seeing people a couple weeks ago when this goes up, and I was walking. I had like a little ways of a walk to get to where I needed to go, and I was out of breath, my legs were burning, and on flat ground that hadn't happened before. I don't think ever. Like flat ground I was always okay, it wasn't a problem, and now it's a problem. And that's a major change. But again, it's one that should not surprise me because my anaerobic threshold is so low. And until we figure out what's wrong, I don't really know how to go about changing that. But that is sort of how I'm functioning at the moment. I am not functioning that well. I spend a lot of time lying down whenever I'm not actively doing something on the computer. Like if I'm just watching YouTube videos, I can do that lying down. I don't need to be sitting up for that. If I am doing something and like I'm typing in my journal or whatever, I'll be sitting up for that. But I am looking into ways to also do that more lying down, or at least not having to like hold myself up, like even reclining in the zero gravity chair or in the bed or something, because it's a lot. My muscles are sore. I don't know. I did, sort of coming back to the biopsy, make the comment to the cardiologist, like, I understand the plan is for more testing, and I agree the testing needs to be done. The problem is I am not really functional right now, and we are all just assuming I'm going to be able to continue working full time to have the health insurance and the income to pay for the testing. I didn't get a comment or anything about that. But that's sort of where we are, where I am questioning how much longer I'm going to be able to work because I'm having difficulty sitting up for hours at a time. And I don't know what to do about that. But just taking it one day at a time and enjoying what I can when I can. And if that means I pay for it for a few days afterwards because my muscles burn, but I got to be outside, go to a park, go to a concert. I don't know how I'm going to do the concerts I have coming up. But like I'm willing to basically make myself hopefully temporarily worse to get some satisfaction out of life at the moment. Otherwise, I would basically just lay down all the time, and that's not something I'm willing to do at the moment. If it comes to that, that's what I'll do, but if I can force myself to enjoy things, I'm going to do that for as long as I can. That's about it. That is how I'm functioning or not functioning, as the case may be. I hope you guys are having a good day whenever it is you are seeing this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.